It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, we have made it to yet another end of a work week. It is a Friday and TGIF. Y'all, thank goodness it's Friday. We're going to have some fun today. I am finishing up my full album listen to Grace Under Pressure from Rush. Last week we heard side one from the band's 10th album, released in April of 1984. I had heard The Enemy Within previously as part of their Fear trilogy, but Distant Early Warning, After Image, and Red Sector A were all first-time listens. And even after a week, y'all, Red Sector A has really stuck with me. What a song that is. It's powerful, it's personal, and on the Holocaust and related incidents, and I'm continually affected by that song. And I just can't wait to get to these songs on side two, and I'm happy that y'all are along for the ride. As we remember, they're now working with a new producer, and they're seeking to continue their evolution as musicians and as a band. And they further incorporated synthesizers into their ensemble sound, especially in the last album, but they're continuing it in this album. And I really enjoyed the mix on side one that included some really great guitar work from Alex, and it incorporated in those newer synthesizer sounds. And of course, we still get the great bass work and vocals from Geddy, and the unbelievable drumming and lyrics from Neil. So it's, again, a lovely listen, and I can't wait to dive into side two. We've got 4 more songs: The Body Electric, Kid Gloves, Red Lenses, and Between the Wheels. And all of these are going to also be first-time listens for me, and I'm eager to dive into these songs and complete this full album. And today, y'all, I want to make sure that my arms are free for drumming. I've got my Status Audio headphones here. These are wonderful headphones. I'm going to use these to listen to the music, and they are a great sponsor of the program. I've had these for a while now, and I use them all the time, every day. They're really great, so I thought, let's listen to the music this way and mix things up a bit here on this Friday. It'll be fun. So we've got Geddy Lee on bass and synths and vocals. He is also our co-songwriter. Alex Lifeson is on guitars and synths and the songwriting, and Neil Peart on drums and percussion, and our lyricist. So we start off with The Body Electric, and as I read about this song, the title of it originally comes from a Walt Whitman poem that inspired Ray Bradbury to write a short story. And they take inspiration from that. It's also based on a Twilight Zone episode, and I'm a little young, y'all, to really be into the old classic Twilight Zone episodes. I haven't watched very many of them, but I think that was a fun show to be a fan of back in the day. And so let's get to it, y'all. This is going to be The Body Electric from Rush. Off we go. Okay. Okay. Sounds like 4-1, but suspended. Goes back to 1. I think they're in A.
One humanoid escapee, one android on the run.
There's an android on the run.
Freedom beneath the lonely desert sun. Try
change the mode, crack the code, images conflicting into data overload. Okay. 1001001. In distress. That's an ASCII code, y'all. I love the anticipation that they're using. It's in 4, but they're anticipating that downbeat. They're not shorting the beat, they're just getting to the next downbeat early. See how they beat it? And the bass just goes right up the scale. Plays each of the days 100 years of routines, bows its head in praise to the mother of all machines. We're talking about a sentient robotic being, right? Simple little tune. D up to E, up to F. Then it resolves to the A. I like the fact that the vocals aren't in the stratosphere. You know, taking advantage of Getty's extremely high vocal range. And I love the combination, like we heard last week, of these new synths added to the mix, but we've got all the rest of the guys continuing to do their stuff. I love the guitar solo in that. There we go. So 1001001 is an ASCII code, and I'm pretty sure that it's the code for the letter I in the alphabet. And I think this is meaning that our robot, our humanoid, our android has awareness, has a consciousness. And so when they say SOS, like they're saying 1001001, I, like me, and then SOS, like I'm calling for help here. 1001001 in distress. Hello, I'm in distress over here. Please come help. You know, it's the call of a sentient being, even though they're, you know, made of metal and wires and everything. That's an interesting bit of a story to put into a song. Really cool, right? So let's keep going, y'all. Up next is a song called Kid Gloves. And this one, according to Alex, is a song that talks about the pressures that the band was facing during this period of their career. quoting Alex, 1983 was a tough year for us. The last tour was a real grind. Everybody had been going through some changes. Before Peter Henderson, who was the producer of Grace Under Pressure, we had a couple of other people in mind that we wanted to work with, namely Steve Lillywhite, who was the producer for U2 at that time. But things got screwed up along the way, and there was a bit of a panic. With Kid Gloves, we are responding to rolling with the punches during this type of pressure. So they're writing about what it feels like to be looked to and feeling this pressure to perform, but also to live up to your own artistic sensibilities, right? So this is going to be really interesting. Let's get it going, y'all. Here is Kid Gloves from Rush. Off we go. It's like 4 to 5 to 1. They're in D. 4, 5. They're also in 5. Now into 4. Wow. And you'll learn the lesson that it's cool to be tough. I hear the synth in the bass. I think I'd rather hear Geddy's bass down there. The golden rule. I love these lyrics. Neil just has a great way of expressing himself, right? Through his language. There's the bass I was looking for. Sounds great with these on. Right, that's how that goes. E, F sharp, A, doesn't like rock my world completely like some of their stuff has in the past. It's a real solid album track as far as I'm concerned. And I think it's really cathartic for them, writing about the way they feel at this point in their career. It's really interesting. Anger got bare knuckles. Anger play the fool. Anger wear a crown of thorns. Reverse the golden rule. So, try not to be too angry, right? Or maybe they're saying to get angry if you need to. What does it mean to handle with kid gloves? You learn the lessons taught in school. Then you learn that the lessons you were taught in school won't be enough. So you've got to use your street smarts to get through all this, right? Your teachers didn't prepare you for what you're experiencing right now. So, be a big boy and get her done, you know? Really, really cool. Let's keep going. Y'all, Red Lenses is up next, and I didn't find out much about this particular tune, so I'd like to just dive in and see what it sounds like and experience it with all of you, and then we'll talk about it when we're done. Here is Red Lenses from Rush. Here we go.
I see red.
Right into it.
And it hurts my head.
Hurts my head.
I guess it must be something that I read.
Listen to the bass. Something new.
It's the color of your heartbeat.
This is interesting.
A rising summer sun. About to last all one. The flash to fashion, the pulse to passion feels red. Inside my head.
So it still feels red inside his head.
Truth is often better left unsaid. I say red, red.
I am
Thinking
grooving
about the overhead.
with the groove in this song, y'all.
Couldn't we talk about something else instead?
I hear that as 4 back to 1. And then, I don't know.
We've got Mars on the horizon, says the National Midnight Star. That's true. What you believe is what you are. A pair of dancing shoes, the Soviets are the blues, the red.
I was wondering if they're talking about the Cold War. The Reds under your bed, the Soviets are the blues.
Lying in the darkness.
The Reds are under your bed lying in darkness. Be afraid, be very afraid. And then something new. That sounds like La. Do. What key are they in? Re. This is wonderful. It's really out there for them in their 80s style.
And the mercury is rising.
gets to us all, the pain that is learning and the rain that is burning. Interesting. Feel red.
Still go ahead. You see black and white, and I see red. Red, not blue. Thinking about the overfed, the underload.
Yeah.
I said I'm red, red. About what you said.
They're going to fade out.
Think about it. Yeah.
They're in C sharp, I think, for that song. And occasionally it would switch back and forth from major to minor. But I think that's where they were for that one. Maybe it's about the Cold War. I don't think so. Maybe it's just including that bit about the Soviets is just part of what it is to just be alive in the mid 80s, right? But here towards the end, you see black and white and I see red, not blue. I'm thinking about the overfed, the underread. I said bled red. Thinking about what you said. Think about it. Maybe it's about how we are predisposed to react to the events of our life in a certain way or not. Some people are really easygoing. Some people just really have a chip on their shoulder and respond to difficulties in life as if they were somehow like personal attacks, you know? And I don't know. You know, I empathize, especially with the first verse here. I see red and it hurts my head. I guess it must be something that I read. I in 2025 am trying to change my media consumption habits. And I've found that my desire to be informed about what's going on in the world is at odds with my continuing need for sanity in a world that seems like it's off the rails, you know? And so I see red. It must be something that I read or something that I heard or something that I saw that put me into this. It's the color of your heartbeat, a rising summer sun, the battle lost or won, the flash to fashion, the pulse to passion. It feels red inside my head, and the truth is often better left unsaid. So sometimes it might be better, you know, if the mercury is rising, the barometer starts to fall, you know, it gets to us all. The pain that is learning and the rain that is burning. It's having to self-direct your own habits and manage how you react to the stimuli of life on a daily basis. I struggle with it, especially right now, friends. But that's where that song hits me at this particular moment. And I really love the groove in that, all the extra little flair that they put into that. The bass work was quite wonderful on that one. Really, really cool. So let's finish it up, shall we? Between the Wheels is the last song on the album. And, you know, for a band that has produced some great longer songs, this is the longest song on the album, and it's just 5 minutes and 44 seconds. So most of all the songs on this album are relatively tame in their length compared to some of their albums in the past. I like both of them. you know, both the shorter songs and the longer ones. But I love having at least one longer tune on an album because I love the progginess of those longer tracks with these bands. But as I come here to Between the Wheels, especially as I read the lyrics to this one, I think that they're using wheels as a metaphor for time. Yeah, the wheels of time just passed you by. And I interpret that as a statement about recognizing our life passing us by while we are in a state of perpetual sort of freeze with our past memories, our regrets, our worries about the future, that sort of thing, and not living up to our potential or living in the moment. And taking advantage of life that's here and now. That's what I think they're going to be talking about. Life between the wheels of time. So let's get to this, y'all, and finish out the album. This is Between the Wheels from Rush. Here we go. Danger. It's got some grit to it. And some darkness in it that I haven't heard so far. Listen to that bass pedal down there. Are they in D? I think they're in D. So back into 4/4 with that syncopation. They do that a lot, that anticipation of the downbeat. But the wheels of time just pass you by.
Wheels can take you around. Wheels can cut you down. You can go from boot to bust, from dreams to a bowl of
That's amazing lyrics.
from rockets red glare, down to
And the brother can you spare? Holy cow.
lost generation.
It's a warning, y'all. And it's effective.
It's living in real time, a busy lifetime, reeling by on celluloid. Struck between the eyes by the good timer, walking on easy streets, hiding beneath the sheets, got to try and fill the void.
Excuse me. Neil's drumming is next level. Every single time. Definitely in my top 2 or 3 drummers that I've heard. Just love the way that he supports a track on the skins. Brother, can you spare? Guitar solo. So I think D to F, G.
Wheels can take you around. Wheels can cut you down. From rockets red glare down to rubber. Can you spare another war, another wasteland, another lost generation?
Back into this main sort of interlude theme. Listen. Are they gonna fade that out? No. Let it go. Let it ride. You're at the end of the album. It just goes away. That's a shame. Because I think it's the best song on the album. Like, immediately, I think it's the best song on the album. Red Sector A is maybe the most profound one on the album, but that's the best song on the album. First listen, I don't even care who you are, y'all. That's wonderful. The lyrics, the crunchiness of it, the heaviness of it, it was just so real. Wonderful, right? Yeah. Thanks to my Status Audios. These are great. I love listening to music through these, walking around with them. Details in the description, y'all. Status Audio. These between 3 ANCs. They're wonderful. Love these. So, what can I say? The chorus. We can go from boom to bust. We can go from dreams to a bowl of dust. Talking about the Dust Bowl, right? Boom to bust. We can fall from rockets' red glare, from the American national anthem, down to, in quotes, "Brother, can you spare?" And then it goes right into another war, another wasteland, another lost generation. So Neil is so frickin' intelligent about the way that he uses language, because we can fall from rockets' red glare down to, "Brother, can you spare another war? Can you spare another wasteland? Can you spare another lost generation?" Of course not. No, we can't. But what it's also referencing is the song "Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?" It's as I remember, and I'm pretty sure about this, it was the big break on radio for a crooner that we know as Bing Crosby. "Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?" Back in the 30s, during the overwhelming, crash and the economic turmoil of that time. "Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?" I remember hearing that song as part of my look into Bing's career and just music in that general era. The rise of not having to belt to a huge audience with the vocal style that reaches them without amplification. And we now get radio, we get microphones, and we get a different style of singing. The crooner where you don't have to project. You just have to, get your sound the way that you want it into that microphone that's right here. Mine's right here. And it changes the way that that music was sung. But that's a really important historical song, and Neil's referencing it by using the quotation marks, but he's including it as, in this society, we can have booms, we can have busts, we can have dreams that are being fulfilled, we can be just stuck in a bowl of dust, we can be celebrating with rockets' red glare, or we can be down to our last cent, down to our last dollar, and we don't have time or the resources to waste another war or have another wasteland or have another lost generation. It's just stop it. No. No, 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 no. Between the wheels. You know how that rabbit feels going under your speeding wheels? Bright images flashing by like windshields towards a fly. Frozen in that fatal climb, but the wheels of time just pass you by. Don't have that caught in a headlight look. It's understandable, based on what they've said here, it's understandable that you do. But try not to, because when we're like just stuck in a headlight, we're frozen, and we're stuck on overwhelm mode sometimes of all the stimuli that comes at us. But the wheel of time just keeps on turning. These wheels can take us around all that where we want to, but they can also cut us down. The lyrics and the language that Neil uses to say what he really thinks and to convey the emotion behind a message, the emotion behind a thought, the morality and the empathy, the humanity behind a thought. It just endears me to him every single time that I come back to music from this band. I love lyrics. I love language. I also obviously love music. That's why I've worked for a long time writing texted music specifically. I'm known for my choral music, y'all. So I really gravitate towards the lyrics as well as all the sounds. And I'm just continually impressed by this band. I think it's a really strong album. I liked side one, and I remember liking side one a little more than I liked the previous album, Signals. And I like side two just as much as side one, if not more. And I think it's a real solid album. They had great commercial success with this one. It reached the top 10 in Canada, the UK, the US. It's been certified platinum, and it's looked to as one of their better albums, especially from this period. And I understand why, y'all. Really, really great stuff. So before I finish up here, what's next from Rush? I've done several of their songs, and now I've kind of gotten into a flow with working through their discography, a side at a time, here on YouTube. Next up would be Power Windows, the album Power Windows from 1985. But there's also Hold Your Fire, there's Presto, there's Roll the Bones, there's Counterparts, Test for Echo, Vapor Trails, Snakes and Arrows, and finally Clockwork Angels. And all of those, as I look at it, were top 10 albums. And Clockwork Angels was a #1 album. I haven't heard as much from this upcoming era of the band as I've heard the classic era that we've been working through. But I'm continually interested to work through their music and to learn their discography. And it's great to have you along for the ride. So unless y'all just really don't like Power Windows, I'll probably go to that one next. if I had to pick one that really has, with the little that I've heard so far, really made me want to get to it sooner than later, it's Clockwork Angels. It's the last album, but I don't know if I'm going to jump to the last album yet or if I'm going to wait for a while. I'll probably see what y'all think and think about it some more, and we'll go from there. But for today, my friends, and this week, I believe that that is all for us. It's been a lovely week here, and I really appreciate you spending time with us as we go through and we listen to this music and we try to figure out what it means, and we try to figure out how to best respond to it and understand what these great artists were conveying to us. And I have a great time trying to do that. So thanks, y'all, for being with me. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily